to ground yourself, to find out who you are before you even audition or show up on set, and find your value before you even consider doing anything else. Know who you are, ground yourself in who you are. I know there's a lot of acting tips and stuff that people can give, but I feel like if you come into this space knowing your value, knowing who you are, then you can ground yourself in that versus like this energy of like, please like me. Everybody, please love me. Please give me the gig. Please, be impressed with my performance. When you know who you are and you know your value and you're grounded in something greater than that, then that energy will come across, I believe, in the audition.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you real-life stories and educational lessons behind the scenes of TV and film. And I'm your host, Jason Lockhart, and also a talent agent. And today, our guest is Javier Vasquez Jr.
Hey, good to see you.
And also, not only you're an actor, but you're an author.
I am. Yes, I am.
I love that you brought that book because I haven't had my hands on one.
Thank you.
Can I touch it?
Absolutely. Please.
Oh, man.
This is actually for you. I brought it for you.
Will you sign it for me?
Absolutely.
It's amazing. What? I'll get into this later. I've definitely been like seeing on TikTok how you're just so engaging with this book and all the cool things that are happening.
Yeah, it's just been a labor of love, working through this and creating this resource for young kids that are interested in pursuing this as a career, or even just interested in about learning how it's all done.
I know. I'm going to give this to my nephews too, or maybe have story time with them. You're traveling with it, right? I
am. Yes. I've accepted several invitations to go to different schools and different programs, educational programs, to present this work. And it's been really an honor to do that, because I'm an educator primarily, so to be able to merge these two worlds in this book, JJ's Audition Adventure, has been a true honor.
You know what else is cool is I remember going to that short film that you were in.
Yes.
Did you write that?
I wrote that, produced it, started it. Yes.
And it was like you were like, this was the next phase.
Exactly.
You're just always working towards something so positive. And I feel like you're always giving back to the community. It's
Thank you.
Beautiful, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. Got to keep that funnel full, keep moving forward and give back, like you said, to give back as much as possible.
Yeah. So do you have any great story from this book, like from traveling or anyone that's come across your travels?
Absolutely. It's just been great. We read this book to St. Mary's School for the Deaf in Buffalo, New York. So they brought me in, and they have a thriving theater program, with these young kids that are acting, but they're deaf, so they present the, different plays in a different type of way. So I went in, read the book to the kids, and we had a live interpreter who interpreted the book for the kids. And what was so great is that we captured that video and then uploaded it onto my website so that non-hearing children, anyone can have access to this book. And what's great is there's a QR code inside that the kids can scan, and they can either hear my voice or they can watch the ASL version video of the book.
Wow. How cool is that for you to sit there and watch that being recorded?
Oh, it was the woman that was interpreting for us. She was just so into the story, into the book, and she wanted to do it right. So we did it 3 times. She's like, I want to go again. There's this one little thing I wanted to do and I didn't do it. So it was just a great experience all around. And what's amazing is that when I was asking her about industry standard, because I've done audio books, audible books in the past, I was asking her about industry standard for ASL. And she said, there's no industry standard because nobody's doing this. So it really, I think, sets us apart and really creates an incredible resource for people who want to learn about acting or who want to learn to sign better at an elementary level.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it had that element.
Yeah.
I do want to show this here.
JJ's Audition Adventure.
Yeah, he wants to be an actor. If you want to be an actor and you're a kid, you should get this book. And the graphics are amazing, the illustration.
Yeah. And I met the artist on set. I did there was a student film, Ekaterina Soyuznova. She graduated from SCAD, and
she's an Atlanta local.
Well, she is. Not now. She moved back home with her family, but she's from. She was here, and I met her on set, and we just had an instant friendship. And when I had the idea for the book, my wife said, "Call Ekaterina." So I called her up, and she came on board, and we did it.
Isn't that fascinating? You never know when you meet someone, like, where's that journey going to go?
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
just never know who's going to affect your life.
Yeah.
But if you wander around with positivity and open doors, you can
Yes.
allow magic to
Yes.
happen.
I was just thinking about that on the way over here. This business is a business for people, by people, with people.
For people.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to come together to make it happen.
You know what? You really this is the first time that I felt it since seeing it. Have you watched The Studio, the Seth Rogen show?
Yes. Oh, I love that show.
You remember the episode when he's dating the doctor and she's just like, we save lives. And he goes, we make lives worth living. Do you remember that moment?
I haven't seen that episode yet.
Okay,
no.
well, shit, I just ruined it.
Yeah,
but
I love it,
felt that right here. And in your book and what you're talking about, absolutely. Movies and TV, they make life worth living because it's just capturing humanity.
Yes,
and if
absolutely.
anything, it also allows for time travel in a way. We can go back to the 80s and see what it was really like now.
Yeah,
the 90s, the 70s, we can watch a movie and see what was going on then and feel that time period.
No, absolutely. I remember one of my favorite movies of all time. I remember going to the theaters with my dad to see Last of the Mohicans with Daniel Day-Lewis. And I was just transported back in time, to this age where, the buildings weren't standing and the roads weren't built. Movies have that ability to that magic to transport you. Yeah, absolutely.
That's art.
Yes.
It's what art can do.
Yeah.
So speaking of art and set and the fact that you're a brilliant actor,
Thank
I don't
you.
even know what credit to talk about for you. I feel like you're always working. I was blown away with your role on BMF.
Thank you.
But what lesson have you learned you feel like is one of the most just impactful lessons that's helped you as an actor that our audiences could gain from your experiences and your success?
Yeah, I would say to ground yourself, to find out who you are before you even audition or show up on set, and find your value before you even consider doing anything else. Know who you are, ground yourself in who you are. I know there's a lot of acting tips and stuff that people can give, but I feel like if you come into this space knowing your value, knowing who you are, then you can ground yourself in that versus this energy of please like me. Everybody, please love me. Please give me the gig. Please, be impressed with my performance. When you know who you are and you know your value and you're grounded in something greater than that, then that energy will come across, I believe, in the audition and on the day.
Do you feel like there was a project that you learned that on?
It kind of was a gradual learning process, I guess. Maybe it was an audition. It was talking about JJ's Audition Adventure. I think it was the audition for the first Spider-Man movie that there was a bodega owner, and I really wanted that gig, and I felt so confident, and I didn't book it, and I felt so horrible, almost depressed, and I'm like, I can't live like this. This is not a good way to carry myself. I've got to, find a better way to work, to do this.
Yeah, because it could keep happening, and that's no life.
That's
no
the
quality of
industry.
life.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things about the book is that we're true to life in that story. In that JJ has an audition adventure, has the audition, but doesn't book the role. So he has to have that emotional intelligence to deal with that level of rejection that happens in the industry.
I love that, man. Is there any audition that you've done in the past where you did book it and you were you felt really good about it? You felt really good about that audition, and then when you booked it, it's, it didn't make you cocky, but it made you go, I earned that one.
Kinda. I have a story that kind of fits in with that question. It was for the Mule. And I was called in for a role, this gangster type of character. So I put on my tough guy look and my tough guy accent in Spanish. And I was prepared, off book, ready to go. But when we were in the waiting room, this was in the old days of in-person auditions, they gave us the option of reading for a second role, and they have scripts on the table. So I said, let me see. So I grabbed another one.
Why wouldn't you take a second shot?
Absolutely. So I go in the room, and I felt like I nailed, that first character. And I was like, okay, I'm going to leave on a high note. I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to worry about this second role. But something just called me back. So as the door was closing, I was like, hey, do you mind if I read for that second part? Is there this, other character? And he was like, yeah, man, come back in. Why did you mention it before? For the second role, I couldn't nail the second half of the audition. I kept dropping the lines, but I stayed in character. And I just ad-libbed my way through the second half of the audition. And I left that room with my tail between my legs thinking, why didn't I just stop when I was ahead? And it turns out that's the role I booked. There was something about my performance because I stayed in character until, we cut each take, and he redirected me several times. That's the role I booked. So
and
that
then he brought you back for juror
and
number
then he
two.
brought me back for juror number 2, which was
You were so good in that,
to work with
man.
Clint Eastwood twice was just a dream come true. Once was a dream come true. 2 is like, oh.
Did he teach you anything?
Clint Eastwood? It was,
In a way?
yes, in a way. For the Mule, I remember when I went into the scene, the page, the way it was written on the page was very lighthearted and kind of, comical. So I'm sitting in the car waiting for, the action. And I still didn't know if this was a straight or a comedy, because on one side it's written funny, but on the other side it's Clint Eastwood. He's done some heavy stuff in the past. So I think I asked somebody, hey, is this straight or is this comedy? And I guess Clint must have heard me because he walked over and we had a great conversation. And I shook my hand. He's very, very sharp still, even in his old age. And he said, you know what, just say whatever you want to say. It's funny, it's lighthearted, just say whatever you want to say. So for somebody that does improv, that's gold. So just learning to, trust my instincts, because in that scene we had a great line where Michael Pena, who didn't have any lines originally in the script, starts talking to me in Spanish. And in character, I look at him and say, I don't speak Spanish, which I do in real life. And we just had people laughing. There was more that they didn't use, but, I had everybody laughing and Clint was laughing. For me, that's gold.
Yeah. I mean, you do have an audience. It's not theater, but you still have the other cast and crew.
Yeah.
You got people watching, and that energy is just priceless.
It really is.
Well, I got to ask you, man, last question.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a dream role?
Dream role. I love a good biopic. I love stuff. Yes, dude. I never cry. I rarely don't cry. Am I saying that right? I always cry during these, because it's so inspirational, to know that these stories, I don't know. I definitely would want to be somebody that, as a Latino, as a Hispanic actor, I love celebrating my culture and my people. So I definitely would like to do something that highlights, somebody from our history that would inspire and lift us up, especially in these times with so much the divisiveness. So I couldn't tell you who, but I know there's stories out there that need to be told.
We've done over 50 some episodes of this, and no one's mentioned anything like that. That's so cool.
I appreciate that.
I hope we help you find that.
Yes.
Or create it.
Yes, that too. I've been writing, I'm surrounded by super talented people. So
maybe it'll come from within.
Yeah, maybe.
And that'll help.
Yes. From your lips to God's ears. Yes.
Well, as a special thank you for being here, you do win a free car.
Okay.
So if you would like to reach your hands in there and pick one out.
On. Can I play with it now if I do?
Yeah.
Get something
that's
I like.
Okay. You can drive it home.
Drive it home. Oh, yeah.
What'd you get?
Oh, yeah. I got Knight Rider, dude. Knight Rider.
That's cool.
How about that?
How cool would it be if that thing was big?
Oh, my goodness.
If you could actually drive out of here with that, with the flames.
Yeah, I think of that Dwayne Johnson movie where he throw the tag on it and it blows up.
Pretty cool, man. Well, it's a special treat having you here. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
I'm very excited about this and for you and everything you got going on. And I feel like you're just well on your way to like the next exciting thing.
Yes, sir.
You're always an email away or a phone call away from like something else great.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Looking forward to the work. You deserve it.
Hey, I try my best.
Well, thanks for being here. Thank you to our audience for tuning in. If you would like to be a guest on our show because you got your own cool booking story and lesson, pitch it right to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Thank you for everyone that watched. Thank you to Jesse Malinowski and Get Seen for producing our show. And Javier, thank you, man.
Thank you for having me. True honor.